What an honor to be selected to give the first speech in our club in 2013. Nobody probably intended it to be an honor, but I'm going to take it that way anyway. I believe I have something to say to you tonight that has the power to make a difference in your life. But you have to do it. Hear me? You have to do it. All I can offer you right now is some words. You have to take these words and then make them applicable to you and turn them into action. And so first, just a little hint. Get rid of those New Year's resolutions. Don't even think about it. Instead, decide on some steps that you can take to improve your life. And then work on them all the time. Spring, summer, fall, winter, New Year, end of the year, whenever. Work on them all the time until you no longer need to take those steps anymore. This evening I have a few powerful suggestions for 4 areas of your life. And then a couple more suggestions that are more general in nature. First, in the area of health. There's 3 simple tips that can make a big difference in the area of your physical life, your health. And they're so simple, but if we could just work on getting them right, that would really help us a lot. Number 1, eat right. Think about nutrition. Eat healthy. Number 2, exercise. They say if you'll just do 30 minutes of simple exercise a day, it can make all the difference in the world. Even just walking. Walking 30 minutes a day. How easy is that? Now, if you want to do more, that's great. But just do 30 minutes of exercise. And then number 3, be sure to get enough rest. Some of you were here when we heard a speech last year about sleep cycles. And it talked to us about how important our rest is to us. So I want to encourage you. Most people need 7 or 8 hours of sleep at night. Do what it takes to get those 7 or 8 hours. Now, maybe you need a little bit less or a little bit more. You have to adjust that time. Now, I know you may remember that I recently gave these same 3 tips in another speech. I'm repeating them because I think they're so important. Because if you don't have your physical health, you don't have anything. I'm getting close enough to retirement that I can sort of see it out there. But what good will it do for me to retire and be prepared for retirement if I don't have my health? So think about your health and take care of it. These 3 tips will help you a lot. Now I want to impact your mind. There is one website that I want to highly recommend to you. And by the way, you don't have to worry about writing these down. I'm going to pass out a little resource sheet at the end of my speech. It's called dailylit.com. They send you an email a day, a selection of each book, so that you read a book over a period of time. You can select which days you want to receive those little readings from the book. It has the feature of taking a vacation pause, so if you're going to be gone for a couple of weeks, or if you're just going to be really busy and you don't want to have to try to read too, you can pause it for a couple of weeks. 1,000 books to choose from. You just get a small selection of that book each day. I'm currently reading The Brothers Karamazov. Big, thick book. 418 selections to be able to complete that book. 418 emails come to my inbox. I'm also reading The Prince by Machiavelli. I've always wanted to read that book. It's not really very enjoyable, but I'm getting through it because I'm taking it in small bits. I want to encourage you to improve your mind by using dailylit.com. It's very simple to go there. You go, choose a book, give them your email address, and they send you a selection a day until you finish that book. In your financial world, I strongly encourage you to look at Dave Ramsey. His book, Total Money Makeover, really helped me a lot. a lot, and it's helped a lot of people. He has some other books. You might prefer one of them instead. Go to your local bookstore. Check these books out. You can also go to daveramsey.com and get a lot of information. His 7 steps to financial peace were very powerful in my life. They helped me to get my finances under control. They've made a big difference. I want to encourage you to think about that too. In the area of technology, it's become so important. It's everywhere. You have to have a degree in electronics to go buy a television anymore. Long gone are the days when you could pull a capacitor or a tube out of your television set and take it down to the local store and plug it in and replace it. No, no, no. It's much more difficult than that. And then you have phones and computers and all of these electronic gizmos and gadgets. We need help. Unless you're a geek, and there aren't very many of us who are true geeks. I think we're going to be hearing from a geek maybe a little bit later today. If you're not a geek, you need Kim Commando. She stays up on all this stuff, and she puts it in down-to-earth, easy-to-understand language. She has a daily radio show, a weekly call-in show. She sends out daily emails on several subjects. I encourage you to sign up at commando.com, and you can get all kinds of help in the area of technology. Now for some hints that I think can rock your world in a general way. One of the most important books I've ever read, in fact, I would count it in the top 5 books I've ever read, is this one right here. I use it all the time still. This is by Stephen Covey. He's now passed away, but The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People has really changed my life. It's changed the way I think. If you haven't read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, I strongly encourage you. In fact, I'll say, don't walk, run to the bookstore to get this book. It will make a big difference. In the area of goal setting, here's a book, doesn't even have a title on it. It's called Pick 4. It's based on Zig Ziglar's writing. He's now passed away also, just recently, in the last 2 or 3 months. But he helps you with setting goals. He says, pick 4 goals for your life. And then as you go through this book, he gives you ways that to help you actually make sure that you accomplish those goals. And then there's a fellow by the name of Michael Hyatt. He's also a motivational, inspirational speaker. I haven't read this book, but he is an author. He's got a website too, michaelhyatt.com. And on that website, he will help you to develop a life plan. He's very good at goal setting, helping you think through just what is it that I want to be doing that fits my personality, fits my skill sets. Michael Hyatt has made a difference in my life. He's got an ebook that's available on his website for free. So I would encourage you to go to michaelhyatt.com. Many years ago, I actually heard Zig Ziglar speak in person. I was a student at Harding University, and I just happened on this seminar that he was doing. And of course, this was like 100 years ago, and so Zig Ziglar wasn't quite as big a name back then. He was just coming into vogue. But I'm so glad I got to hear him. There actually wasn't a seat. It was standing room only, so I stood to be able to listen to Zig Ziglar speak, and I'm glad I did. He was a proponent that your attitude is so very important in life. While people and events have a tendency to drag us down, we need motivation and inspiration to keep us going. So I try to read motivational books often. And here's my final suggestion for you this evening. It's called Life Without Limits. It's by a fellow by the name of Nick Vujicic. And if you can see the picture, you can see that Nick was born without limbs. No arms, no legs. Now you can go to YouTube and see some clips by Nick. But you can also get his book. He's got some videos out. He goes around the world speaking on the topic of motivation and inspiration, and he really is quite good. I use some of Nick's material in a job skills training class that I do because I think it's so important. These suggestions are ones that I believe can rock your world. And I want to encourage you to pick one or two of these and see if they don't make a difference in your life. Mr. Toastmaster.